Alright, guys, welcome to the It's not a podcast, it's a Squadcast. It's a squad of 4 friends who are all artists. I'm Leo.
I'm Lane.
I'm Gotham. I'm not actually an artist, I'm a writer.
That's art. It's still a form of art.
It's art.
Yeah.
I'm
Hal.
Yeah, that's Hal. Yeah, we are, like I said, a group of artists who gets together, and we thought it'd be fun to do a podcast, but it's the Squadcast, because we're the squad. And yeah, we're going to be releasing a new episode every other Sunday, not every Sunday. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. We don't know what we're doing, and yeah.
Here we go. Alright. So, we're just gonna go by topics.
Alright.
Okay.
First topic.
Summer stories! Yay! So, do you guys have any, funny or weird experiences you guys have had during the summer, since most schools are out now and you get your freedom, all of the above.
Well, I mean, we're sitting in a fluffy chair right now.
Yeah, we are.
This is pretty weird, seeing as it's only the first day of summer vacation.
At least for us.
Yeah.
And,
For how it's longer.
Most of the weird ones I have are just straight up embarrassing.
Well, that's
You
what
can
this is
tell them
for.
if you want to. You don't have
So
to.
my brain's just going to some dark places right
Oh,
now.
Oh no.
By dark places, I mean nothing, because I've just blocked them out.
Okay.
That's what
That's
therapy is
cheery.
for.
What if all your stories are embarrassing?
Alright.
I
I'm
remember.
sorry.
I remember when I was little, my parents were having I don't even know if this was during the summer or not, but my parents tell the story a lot. But they were holding a gathering at my house, and I was about 3 at the time, and I really wanted cookies, but I was only allowed to eat 1 cookie.
That's always
So
fun.
I thought I could just sneak cookies up to my room. So I went to where they had cookies, and I shoved 7 cookies. I shoved 7 cookies up my pant leg and started walking back towards my room. My parents saw me and they were like, "Hey, Lane, what you got there?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And at that point, the cookies gave way and just spilled out of my pant
You
leg.
couldn't
on
find
the
a better
floor.
place to put the cookies. Just stuff them in your pants.
I've got 15 cookies down my pants right now. Is this okay?
Are you sure
Fine.
you're okay?
It's mine. Everything is
Sharon's
fine.
never gonna let me at the bake sale ever again.
So that's why I have beef with her. Well, don't
I
even
have
so
beef
much.
with her and Karen because I had a meltdown. Karen just freaking.
But do you make pork?
Not in this vegan household.
But there's beef!
Where's the beef?
I do make pork between people.
I smell like
You, I don't like to talk about that, mainly because it always turns out as spam.
The only story I can think of, I don't think I have any really cool summer stories. They're just bad incidents that have happened to me. Oh, when I was younger and stuff, I would wear flip flops everywhere and stuff, and even in the winter. And I just my mom was talking to me once about how when I was younger, I'd either be barefoot or in flip flops, and I would be running around outside all the time because back then I actually ran, unlike now. And never do that ever again. And I would always stub my it was either, I don't remember if it was my left foot or my right foot, but anyway, my big toe, I would always stub it and every day. And my mom was legit concerned I was not gonna have a big toe growing up because I would stub it so much and just have this bloody toe.
I think you stubbed it into my foot.
You know?
So,
Yeah, so that's the story of why I only have 9 toes.
Oh, alright.
I was gonna say that I was just gonna say Hal just has this really tiny toe now. So.
That's what they called me in high school.
The dictionary's trying to define laugh.
Stop using the laugh track, I'm crying.
Is that a knife? No! Just stop.
Hey, we can't be a mature group of people without
No!
fart jokes!
That wasn't even a joke, that was just the punchline.
I want dead.
That's understandable.
No, he's
We have so many sound effects, we're just gonna
Okay.
screw around with them.
Well,
I think we should talk about an actual topic though.
But
Yeah,
summer
well,
stories
wait. We
happen.
gotta talk about the one summer story that none of us can forget.
Oh yeah.
That happened last year. That this is more for our audience than for the people in this room, but
No, it's completely for us.
we're going to tell you the story of summer
For
camp
our own enjoyment.
and the
Yes.
weirdest instance we've ever been in, and you guys can chime in and
It's
as
also
you please.
this is also like therapy for all of us because some weird stuff
Just
went
kind
down.
of release your problems
Yeah,
and
okay.
just cry, maybe a little.
I just remember a really bad sunburn.
I remember everybody having like hair ties in their hair, and so me and
That-
Leo
you're right.
we were the only guys in the group, and we all had like freaking hair knots, and I
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like
They played with our hair and like
Angelica's
you're a
doll
unicorn
from
now.
Rugrats.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of us together and like gave everyone like all these like tiny ponytails because this like one
That's
of the
great.
leaders gave me like all these like tiny clear plastic hairbands, and so me and a bunch of the girls were like making like bunches of tiny ponytails in our hair,
You're like-
and then Leo and Gotham came by and we're like, hey,
Can we
how
play?
would you like to join a cult?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Stop! And so they agreed, and we got to do their hair and stuff. So we formed a cult, and Leo dubbed us the Heretics.
Oh yes, we were
No.
the heretics.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
so far
It was like
this-
11
that
o'clock
was-
at night. It
That
was
was
awesome.
that was my first cult, and my second cult is just called the Nice Blanket Buddies Association.
Yeah,
and
we're all a
basically
part
we
of that.
just
That was
hold,
wholesome.
we just hold meetings like whatever. We just text and everything,
But
and we get under blankets. That's the only rule. You have to be under blankets, and you have to be nice.
Be nice.
You
And
can't
you
be
have to
over
be
blankets.
buddies.
Yes.
If you're not buddies, you're kicked out.
If you're not buddies, you're not
You're
buddies.
kicked out, and we're putting you in a room with Keanu Reeves. That way, he makes you happier.
I was gonna.
I hate it.
You are losing your laugh track privileges.
Darn it.
We're
I knew
just
that was
gonna
gonna happen
delete this.
eventually. Just never expected it for it to happen in the first episode.
Just you are losing your laugh track.
We
privilege.
got completely off track here
I
on the
lost-
story
I lost-
that I even wanted to
I
tell.
lost
yeah.
my boop privileges.
What?
Which
He
is
was-
where you
he-
like boop people on your nose.
Yeah.
He was abusing them. I revoked them.
Okay.
He got them
Wow.
back for now, but stop
He's gonna slap me.
Yeah, I just booped her.
Okay.
You're gonna lose him.
So the story I was going to
Better
tell
not.
before things went off the rails is so
Oh, no.
the three of us. You keep hitting the dictionary.
It was your fault.
Yeah, it was. Okay, shit. Okay, so we were at summer camp and we were doing our last like session type thing at a park. The park was nice. It was cool. We just got back from Wild Waves. We were all tired. Except for we chose a spot that was not really the ideal.
It was
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you remember?
Okay, I'm
So
I'm gonna finish this. So we freaking picked this spot and everything, and it's really nice. And there's like
Except for
wood.
the part that
there's,
smelled like
there's like
weed.
trees everywhere. That's true. There was a good part. And so we're just
Was
like
there?
there's like that wasn't a good part. There's like these really big trees and everything, and it's like one of those parks where like people can just sit down and
And it was
everything.
next to a lake.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
next to a lake.
And so there was this Mexican family who was having the birthday for like a 1-year-old, and they were playing like Mexican music really loud and everything,
It was just.
and it was just like you can just finish it.
Yeah, okay, so we're sitting there, and our camp, our leaders are just trying to have a serious conversation with us. People are getting up and sharing their camp stories, trying to be serious. And from, like, the other side of the park, it's just blaring, hype, Mexican party music. And it's just blaring, and we're like, okay, let's not focus.
It's like a Reba, like every 5
It's like, yeah! And it was just, okay, it's there. It exists. And then from the other side of the park, there was more music, but from different origin.
On the other side of the park, we were sandwiched in between the weed-smelling guys who were mysteriously in the forest,
Yes.
and the Hispanic family having a party for a 1-year-old,
And the blaring Russian music.
and the Russian techno music.
I like-
That was our summer.
My favorite part was when all that was finally over and we were getting back in the bus, and
Oh, yes.
one of the leaders came up, and apparently somebody from the Mexican party for one
Oh,
girl
yeah.
gave us like a bucket. Was it a bucket of, like
They gave
candy
us-
or
It was
They
a
gave us
bucket
a-
of candy from the party.
with
They gave us a gift bag.
Yeah, and
we
it
didn't
had
even
like
go.
the picture of the 1-year-old in it. Just like, I don't know what you want me to
They
do
were
with this,
like
but
they
thanks.
were apologizing for like all the really loud music playing
Have
and
some
everything.
At
candy.
least they apologize.
But the candy was good. So.
Yeah.
And so we just got this picture of a 1-year-old and then like a ton of candy and everything, and like the youth leaders are like
Picks
one
us up,
each,
we're
and then
throwing it away.
I get like a singular Kit Kat and everything, and then everybody else is like suckers and stuff, and I'm like, I'm fine with this.
Should we eat the
You
candy?
should have just taken the picture of the 1-year-old.
No, no. That
You
would
know
be
what?
No,
You know what?
no.
I would
I'll
just
take
hang
this.
that with the rest of my cousins and just
Put the
label
rest of the
one-
1-year-olds on your
one-
fridge.
The 1-year-old I don't even know as an honorary cousin in my family.
That reminds me of one
I
that
W is my
Um,
cousin.
we have this picture frame that can hold like 4 pictures like above our fireplace. Except for the longest time, we didn't print out the pictures we had that we wanted to put in there. And so we just had like this guy and this random child, and then there was like they're all like stock photos.
The
that
stock
come,
photo.
The stock photos that come with
Yes.
like the frame, and then there was like his grandpa and the kid, and so we like gave them names, and no joke, they were up there for like 6 months.
Glorious.
Now here's Joey, and then this
Yeah.
is Joey's son.
Oh, are they
Jeremy.
family? No, they're clip art.
This is old guy number 1. We're keeping his name number 1.
Revoke his laugh privileges.
I can't hit the button.
And it goes on and on and on and on. Well, the laughs start coming, they don't stop coming, they don't stop coming, they don't stop coming, they don't stop coming, they don't stop.
That's my funny story.
Yep.
Do we even know if this stuff is copyrighted?
No, don't mention that. We'll get
Why? I don't want to get
YouTube, please
demonetized.
Wait, we're getting monetized? We're getting paid?
No, we're not.
No.
No.
YouTube
Stop
The
it.
fan
YouTube
coming up to
assassins
your-
are gonna come kill us all.
No, you get
YouTube
shot,
fan-
man.
YouTube fan coming up to our home, being like, "You've been demonetized."
Honk honk.
Eat some
We're
bread.
That was really loud.
So no one else wants to tell a funny or embarrassing story?
I have
I've got
one.
a story.
Okay, you go
can-
first.
Wait, who-
Oh no, what do we
okay.
do?
I know we're Canadian.
All right.
Okay, I've got a story. I don't remember if it was summer or not because I was really small. At this point in time, I was in diapers and everything,
Oh no.
and I was really into Star Wars. So I had like 6 different lightsabers just stuffed into my diaper, and it was just running low. I'm like sitting there. I think I was wearing cowboy boots because I was really into it. Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, that's
You guys are
fantastic.
losing your sense.
No,
Oh, no,
I
he's
made
back.
the soundboard.
We'll just record it from now on without the soundboard because I don't.
But this is the best part.
My weird story is that I was really young, and this might not be summer. I can't remember. I was young, okay? And specifically, what happened was I was really into Star Wars, so I just basically took a ton of lightsabers and just hooked them onto my diaper. And I was wearing. Sorry, they're trying to hit the soundboard.
I want it.
Leo and Lane
the
cannot have the
pew sound
soundboard. Stop. No.
Pew.
Let him speak.
And
Oh, don't put
I
my
was,
hand there.
You're
Alex.
fine.
I was really into Star Wars, but I was also into cowboys. So I'm pretty sure in that photo, there's a photo of it somewhere. That's how I remember. And I'm wearing cowboy boots, and then my freaking diaper is like really low and everything.
Oh no.
And there's just like my really old house in the background that I vaguely remember, and I'm just like.
That sounds like a picture.
I
of, like,
just look at this and I'm just yes, that was peak male performance.
Dude, you sound like a cryptid.
You may not like this, but this is what male performance looks like. All
Of
right.
course. That's what we're
Okay.
here for. Do I have soundboard privileges though?
Yes,
No,
you do.
Okay,
no,
yes.
he does not get to decide that.
Yes,
He
you
lost
do.
his soundboard
We're putting it up to a vote, even though there is only 4 people.
All right, raise your hand if you like soundboard. Okay.
Raise your hand if
there's
you
two.
don't like soundboard.
Wow,
Can
the
we-
couples are
There's two.
dividing.
Wait.
No.
This is a
It's
podcast.
settled.
People can't see. Raise your hands.
Say pie.
This
It's
just
like
in,
Animal
we're
Jam.
all. This just in, we're all
Why do you keep
freaking
standing
dumb.
up?
Okay,
Sit,
tell
child.
your
Okay.
story. Leo,
All right, so-
Before
you-
someone gets
you
stabbed.
get
Before
your-
someone gets
you-
stabbed.
Before you get your pinky cut.
All right.
I'm
So,
about to cut.
this is before Hal and Gotham came to our kind of youth group. So yeah. So we were at the end of our camp, this is a couple years ago. We went to the beach and we had a fun time at the beach. And I was a lot younger, as in like 2 years younger than I am now. But
Oh,
I had
not this
like a
story.
couple pennies left over in my pockets from spending it at the store, the gift shops. I got a hat, maybe. No, I got candy.
No, yeah, you got candy.
I got candy
And ice cream. I think we got ice cream too.
No, we didn't. But I got that stuff, and so we were walking by. This guy, he was on the beach. This old, I think he was maybe homeless because he was doing it for money, and he didn't look that well kept. And I don't want to profile people, but he was there, and so he was sculpting this mermaid. It was a really cool mermaid out of sand. He had this little bin for donation, but I was up on the
She
raised.
had nickel boobs.
Yeah, she did. Why'd you have to bring that up?
Because it's funny. I don't know.
But yeah, so we were up on a raised boardwalk kind of thing, and I couldn't reach down to like give him the pennies, the handful of pennies I had, and so I just kind of underhand kind of just dropped him, and the dude, as they were falling, he dove across the sand like I had chucked it at him, and everyone just stared at me like I was a monster. That was a very ill-timed oof.
I
should cut it.
completely
And
forgot about this story.
I was so embarrassed because he acted like I assaulted him, and everyone was like, "Oh,
oh.
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
You keep trying to define the words that are on the soundboard. I thought you were gonna hit the crickets one because there was like audible
for our
silence
first
there.
podcast, it's already gone off the rails. I mean, Squadcast, it's already gone off the rails. Off the rail. Oh goodness.
Yes.
I think you guys need to stop touching the soundboard and actually talk about it.
Soundboard. I thought you were gonna hit the crickets one
for
because there was like audible
for our
silence
first
there.
podcast, it's already gone off the rails. I mean, Squadcast, it's already gone off the rails. Off the rail. Oh goodness.
Yes.
I think you guys need to stop touching the soundboard and
Wait, just 1 second. I just want to take like a minute of your time listening to this podcast if you're joining us. Thank you so much. So, hi, it's Lane. I'm editing this portion and my brother's watching Fortnite in the video and I'm so sorry. But as you can, so in these next couple of minutes of the video, you can hear my adorable little dog Ophelia barking in the background, and if you don't like it, you can go ahead and skip over it. But this is so you know, I am aware of it, but the audio was so good, and that what we were saying was so like funny that I didn't want to cut it out. So I'm sorry to anyone if this annoys you. You know, just sorry. Okay, back to the squad.
Right.
Okay,
Shuffle
guess
the
what we're
cards.
gonna talk
Shuffle
about?
the cards.
We're gonna
Nobody
talk
wants-
about
nobody-
calculus.
Nobody-
Nobody wanted to do it, but we're gonna talk about it because
not.
that is my
Geometry's
interest.
already heck, guys. I could have. No, that didn't work.
Picking
I'm
a random
sorry.
card now. It is Victorian England.
Are you guys kidding me?
Victorian England.
Seriously, Victorian era England was like the best thing that ever happened to society because you got the dresses, all the men looked sharp, everyone said, "Good day, sir," "Good day, lady," and now today we're just like, "Yeet, yo, what's up, my man?"
And that's-
You say formality.
And that's the tea.
You know what? Edvardian is better because it's the 1920s, and the 1920s were banging.
Yeah,
and then everyone lost all their money and it turned into the Great Depression.
That's
Yeah,
still
see,
happening
there we go.
today.
You know what?
Yay!
You know what? I am the 1930s America.
We're
The
all-
Great Depression.
The Great
Oh,
Depression.
Man, that took a dark turn. But seriously though, I want to live in a gingerbread Victorian house. I don't know about you, but they're beautiful.
Does it have to be
Wait.
gingerbread? Think of the ants.
Think of the legs.
I want to live in
Think of the
Matt
flag.
Damon's house.
Grandparents have it Victorian style, and I love it.
Wait, Gollum, what did you say? You want to
Dog
live
is
where?
I wanna live in Matt Damon's house because he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh well, at least I think he does.
All right, we got a new
Yes.
card.
Can you
It's
hear the dog?
Probably, probably.
All right.
Sad.
New card. It's science fiction. It's like science, but it's fake.
Let's talk about Doctor Who.
Gotham rises from the void.
Ah!
The ninth Doctor doctor, my favorite doctor, is gonna be at Rose City Comic Con this year, and I'm crying because he's my favorite. Nine is the best doctor. I'm sorry, but he just is.
I like David Tennant.
That's your opinion.
David
I like
Tennant's
the 12th, which nobody really likes. So, thanks. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yo, nobody's gonna actually hear this, but we're cutting everything out because this is way better. It's gone. Frick.
Once
It's
this is
Squadcast, it's just the sound effects. Oh gosh.
Okay, fine.
I'm John Cena!
Oh, that's not even
I
good.
don't have the actual one, I don't
But
think.
that one's perfect. Wait,
You know what? No.
fine. You get to do the soundboard. Cheering children.
This is what's in my
Okay, wait.
Every time you bring down a fresh slice
basement.
of cake.
This is how I feel.
Yay!
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm
I'm
still a piece of
garbage.
Yeah, we're gonna get sued.
Hey, I have a topic idea.
Yes.
Okay, do you guys have any any stories? Like, have any of you had like a scary experience?
Like ghosts and like that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, not just like, oh my gosh, I had to talk to a lady at a grocery store and it was
Like,
scary.
every day.
Like, I think there's a
Oh
ghost in my house kind
man,
of scary.
antisocial issues.
Okay, let's talk about do any of you have like those kind of stories?
Well, when I was in the 6th grade, a very popular video game came out
No.
by a certain man called Scott Coffin. You guys may or may not have heard of it. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's. And let me tell
Scary
you,
pony.
Whoa, really?
My friends-
Wow.
Be quiet and tell a story.
Okay.
let me tell you, my friends, that was their thing. Like that was their crack cocaine. That was there.
Wasn't
And
mine.
of course, me as a beginning middle schooler wanted to fit in with the cool kids. So I was
So
like,
you
you
took
know what?
cat cocaine.
Yeah, I took up drugs. Sure, okay. Drugs in the form of animatronic people who are trying to kill you. So I went home and I started watching the playthroughs. Now, children, let me tell ya, I don't do good with anything horror at all. Horror to
Okay.
me is just we don't mix at all. So when I watched it,
She was never seen again.
yeah, pretty much. I never wanted to come. I never wanted to leave anything ever again. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It was not a pleasant experience at all. And even still, when I think about a new game coming out, I'm just like, I scream and I want to go and hide. So, you know what? There. Scary experiences the entire
Please don't.
time that Five Nights at Freddy's was ever like a thing.
Yeah.
New game comes out. Please don't be like Five Nights at Freddy
All right. I have a lot of
or
phobias.
Undertale. I'm losing my mind.
I don't know what the phobia is where you go to sleep and you're afraid to look at the wall. But like when I was little, I slept next to a slanted wall, and so my bed was right against that. And what I did, I swear I was wide awake, but I was laying down. I look at the wall, and this may sound stupid, but I'm still afraid to look at the wall because of this. I saw a clear, defined Mr. Potato Head face on the wall. and
Nightmare fuel, jeez.
and
Jared
it was
just,
terrifying.
Jared just looks
That's
in
why
the
you
chat.
were so scared.
I ran downstairs. I'm like, Mom, she's about. I guess I'm Mr. Potato Head in the wall. And she's like, go back to sleep. And I was like, I was never asleep. It was there. And so, yeah, I'm still scared to look at the wall. So I have like a pillow up against the wall whenever I sleep. It's just a phobia. Like, I am frightened to sleep without a pillow right up against the wall, separating
Or Mr. Potato
the
Head will
potato
come
head.
get you.
from me.
Jared just looks in the chat and it says, Mr. Potato Head has turned on no clip.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, that,
We need to tone down the
I-
sound effects.
I'm sorry if I gave you all nightmares. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You're waking up at the middle
Years
of the
of
night.
therapy.
Mr. Potato Head, no!
No. Yeah, I'm still terrified of that. Anyone else have a
Time for
scary
you to
story?
die, Mr. Potato.
Does anyone
Not
else have
today.
a reasonable scary story?
I have a reasonable scary story where it's not technically reasonable, mainly because it
Define
was just
reasonable.
basically my
Not
brain
us.
freaking out. So, begins in summer when I'm just seeing random crap, and my brain, I have to do like double takes every time. So I'm like sitting in my house just watching TV, and I'll look over at my dog, and it's my dad, and I'm like, crap, I'm watching TV, and my dad's here. This is really terrifying for me,
Your
mainly
dad.
because I have like time restrictions and I'm only allowed to watch like a tiny bit.
He's
So
going
me
to
using
Disney.
time while my dad is gone, it's really terrible for me to do. But we're keeping my son down low. Okay, don't tell my parents.
It's not like anyone's gonna
This is
watch
literally
this.
going on YouTube.
Yeah. Wait, is anyone ever gonna watch this?
That's true, except my little sister.
When I
She won't snitch. If my
When I
little sister's
brought up-
watching, don't snitch.
When I brought up the idea to my parents to see if they thought it was a good idea, my dad looked at me and he said I would listen to that.
I mean, all you guys who come from
So-
Twitter, thank
Mr.
you.
You can say that again.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Lane's dad.
all right,
Yes, let's just call him Lane's dad, sure!
all right, all
Mr.
you guys
Lane's
who are
dad,
here
you.
from Twitter, I'd like to thank you for Lane and myself. So thanks from the Soupiest Artist and Leo Comics Web. You can find our media links for Hal and Lane and myself, Leo. Gotham doesn't really have one that's not him.
I
So
was gonna do a Tumblr and just post some of my writing, but then like Tumblr. Like,
Dumbler.
Then I learned that like Dumbler was dumb. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I mean,
I
it
post
used-
my webcomic on there, so I don't think it's that
Kinda
stupid.
dumb. Okay, there's a lot of dumb people on there. I remember
That's
like
true.
seeing some.
And then
weird
they were
crap.
banned.
We were banned.
And
from
then
Dumbler.
they were banned. The end.
Yahoo has
Yahoo.
destroyed us.
But then there's Reddit.
Oh no.
That's a
There's a
scary
reason-
story on its own.
You know, I
don't know why the
use
school
Reddit.
banned it.
I use Reddit. And we have very
You
high.
still use Reddit.
We have very high self-esteem of each other. We think we're the best, whereas Instagram just steals our memes. That's what we
Thanks.
think. We're like the peasants, and then Instagram is just taking our memes and moving it up. We get no money from our upvotes, upbeats, as the skeleton would say.
I mean, Hal has Instagram. Do you want to say thanks to?
Instagrammy people.
I'm being told when I'm doing this.
All right.
I don't know.
I've been
just
on
trying
and
to...
off Instagram.
Well, thanks for all the Instagram people who are here today as well.
I think
Yay!
maybe like one follower.
How deleted her
Yeah.
Instagram after
After the incident.
after the war.
The Instagram.
After the Fire Nation attack.
I have a scary story in my Instagram career.
All right. go on.
No, actually,
I have a
it's not.
serious
I
story.
just
It's
went
my
on.
life.
Oh, dude. I
Oh.
actually do have like I don't know. It's kind of spooky, but you guys will probably listen and be like, oh, that's lame. But anyway,
Oh no.
Nothing about you is lame at all.
We're very supportive. So.
But then there's Lane.
but everything about you is lame.
Oh my gosh!
Don't
You
just-
know what?
Don't laugh track me.
We get that if we make good jokes.
Okay. I actually do have a story. I'm gonna wait
No.
because I don't want to have to retell this.
I just saw it on the soundboard and I just had to.
You're gonna lose your soundboard privileges too, man.
Oh no.
Okay.
We're
So
all
I
gonna be
was
grounded except for Mama Hal.
Okay, so in my house, first of all, I live in a really, really old house. Like, it's like, I think at this point, nearly 100 years old. Only like a couple families have lived in it, actually, come to think of it. Oh, that's weird to think about. Anyway, so, yeah, I live in this really old house, and I was coming out of my bathroom, which is upstairs, and if you come out of my bathroom and literally turn, like, right to the left, you can go into my room. And it's, like,
Thanks for giving me directions to your room.
you're welcome. But it's kind of it's
Okay.
I'm working on it.
All right.
Story. So you guys can just edit all my story out.
You
Oh.
start
You can start
We
over.
have so much dust in here.
I know it's just spread.
This stuff can duct tape your TV to your TV,
And
and you can
dead
just duct
now.
tape it to the ceiling and friggin' do whatever you want. You can
Well,
watch
since-
TV on your.
It even
ceiling.
works underwater.
Hal is just banging her head against the wall. She does not know what to do with all of these moves. Stop, please.
Okay, so one day I'll be able to tell my story. I was coming out of my bathroom and I like turned directly into my bedroom, and like the door's open. It opens to the inside, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like up against the wall. And something that like me and my sisters do is that we scare each other pretty often because we're jerks to each other, and that's like a really common spot.
You're
is
not
to
jerks
hide-
to each other. You're sisters to each other.
Yes, we love each other very much, so we scare the crap out of each other often. And that's kind of a common spot, is to hide behind our bedroom door. And as I was walking in, like I swear. Like, you know, like when you're hiding and you're trying not to breathe too loud, so you're just kind of like,
Every day.
oh my gosh, dude. But like, you kind of like are like trying to be quiet, so you kind of like take like a little inhale and then like a little inhale or whatever. Like, I swear, like I heard somebody like kind of take like kind of like breathing, like they weren't trying to be loud, but they were like kind of like being loud, like behind the door. And like I look behind there, and there's absolutely nothing, and it was like really freaky. And I don't remember if this happened before or after, but it was like in the same time frame. Everyone is so loud outside. Oh my gosh.
My dog, I think she's trying to find me.
Well, like,
she's like yelling.
In that same like time frame, my cat was standing in the doorway of our bedroom,
Oh no.
and he was staring like directly in the corner that's by like my bed,
There it
and
goes.
he was just staring, and he looked so scared, and he just was. It was really freaky, and I'm just like, buddy, is my bed haunted? And he's just like, yeah, and he just like looked at us. Oh my gosh.
Stop that.
And it was just like, ugh. But those like two things happening at the same time just like really freaked me out. There was another instance when I was like home alone when I was younger, and I could swear up and down. Like, I'm not just making this up to be dramatic. Like, I heard someone walking upstairs, and it really freaked me out. I was home alone, so I like went upstairs.
You're the worst.
These are like corny sounds effects from like the 1950s radio show or something.
Ow.
Dude, quit making out during my story.
We just touched foreheads.
Oh, shush.
Yo, we have to cancel the podcast. Lean and Lane just started.
What? That is not accurate at all. Just
Okay. So,
Scary
I
story.
don't even remember what I was saying.
Okay, there are steps up the stairs.
Oh yeah, and so like I don't know, like I don't remember how old I was, but like 10-year-old me apparently like had nothing to lose, so I literally just took the biggest knife from my kitchen and I just like waltzed up there and was just like, ah, heck yeah, and I was just like, I'm just gonna like kill this guy if he's like up here, and I like paced up there for like a good couple minutes, and there was nobody up there, but it still freaks me out. Like, just like I could have sworn there's something.
It's a good
But,
and
like,
wholesome howl with a knife.
you know.
that's an image.
That's like my stuff, but I like see different things. Okay, so continuing from seeing my dad as a dog, as my dog. Your privileges have been revoked.
Please stop, both of you.
So,
Tell your story.
my dog looked like my dad when I looked at my dog, because freaking that's how science works.
This is
And so, I was like, that's absolutely terrifying, because my dad isn't home right now.
He's not a dog.
What
So
if
I
your
go
dog
around,
actually dad?
and I'm just like, I like freak out for a moment, and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is fine. And then like a couple days later, I just like see just random things, and it's just like mugs and stuff, or like something else.
That's weird.
And then every once in a while, when I got really like, I can't remember if I was hungry, but I would think about stuff, and I'd be able to like sometimes smell it for some reason, because apparently my OCD and my anxiety were working together to create these things for some reason. So that's what a therapist told me, but I don't know. I haven't had one of these in a really long time.
Just that's like terrifying, but like also cool. But, like I know that like
I know.
I wouldn't want that to happen to me, but it's kind of fascinating.
I kind of miss it because I feel really dumb all the time now.
Oh.
That's me too. That's all of us.
If you can't tell, Leo is Orange Juice Grandma.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
Okay.
the titles.
Orange Juice Grandma.
Lane is Wine Mom. I am Vodka Aunt. Can't tell. It's a secret.
Slide shot of vodka under the
I
table.
Okay.
And I'm beer dad.
Yeah.
And she's Beer Dad.
Val
And
is
with
Beer
all
Dad.
with all our powers combined, we form the Drunken Family Reunion.
Yay!
Wait, how did Grandma get drunk though?
They spiked the orange
I
juice.
spiked the orange. No.
Grandma
Someone spiked the Yeah. Okay.
My orange juice.
Vodka Ant sometimes spikes the orange juice per se in air quotes,
My orange juice.
and that's when Grandma gets really weird. But sometimes Grandma just wakes up in the morning and she's like, I just can't deal with this stuff, and she pulls out like the hip flask and everything.
Oh my god.
My orange juice has been tainted.
Stop it! You're not
We're gonna
allowed
have
to
to
use
make
the
that a
soundboard.
t-shirt.
My
Already
orange-
episode 1 and I want to make merch now. My orange juice has been tainted.
No.
Vodka Ant has spiked the orange juice.
That's fine.
Shall we pick another card?
I have one more scary story if you want to listen.
Yes! Another scary story.
That Heaven soundtrack just sounded like the Simpsons theme song for some reason.
Okay, go on with your story, my
This
child.
is just the beginning of this.
I mean, it's kind of, at least it was scary to me, but it has an ending. It's not just like, oh, I think there was a ghost in my room or anything like that. But anyway, okay, so it was still,
Stop.
Leo, if you do not stop,
We will clap you.
there will
No,
be a
don't
new
clap.
scary story
No,
to be
don't clap.
me murdering you on this podcast.
That's not.
We will murder.
Okay, so, hey, Kelsey, stay.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it.
Okay.
Chaos.
I feel bad because I feel like this is my third story. I feel
Oh,
really
just
bad.
go on.
No, go on. This is what it's for.
Okay, so it was November, and me and my older sister, we sometimes babysit our neighbor kids who live just like a couple houses down from us, and it was I'm forgetting how to speak. They were having like a party, and they texted my mom, and they were like, "Hey, like, we just need some like coffee. Do you think you could like run some over? We could like pick some up or whatever." And we were just like, "Yeah." So my mom like gave us like this bag of coffee to take over to them, and it's like November, right? So it gets dark by like 4 p.m. and
They're talking. Well,
Sorry, we're talking about editing stuff.
It's fine. It's the first episode. We need to like establish these things.
you guys gotta edit out all my ums and uhs. because-
No, I'm not taking the time to do that.
That's like over 30 minutes of like content. I mean,
That's literally, that would mean if that...
That's literally all of Leo's.
yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna start with a clean slate.
Yeah,
Alright.
And then I can be a
sorry.
little more eloquent.
Childhood
Because-
injuries.
Oh boy, that's a
Childhood
good one after
injuries.
this. That's a good one.
No, I'd have no stories to give to
Me
that.
neither, but I'm sure Leo and
I
Dalton
do. I
Oh,
do.
we do.
Okay, so we'll do
Oh,
that after
dear.
I tell this story.
All right.
Okay, so it was Slack's knees. It was one evening in November, and our neighbors were like having like a party, except they needed some coffee, so they texted my mom and they're like, "Hey, could we borrow some coffee?" So my mom gives us me and my older sister like this coffee bag, and she was like, "Hey, could you like run it over to them, whatever?" And it was November, so like by 4 p.m. it's like pitch black outside, and so it's a little spooky. And
Spooky TM.
little spooky.
Sneaky.
And so we like it's just me, my older sister, in this little like coffee bag or whatever, like waddling over, and because I waddle, and
Cutest water.
it was a little creepy. So like we're kind of like going, and we have like this singular street light that like lights up this one corner, and it just like looks really ominous outside, and we could see like this like shadow, like this person approaching us from across the street, and you couldn't really tell who it was, and like we kind of like slow down because we're just like, who is this guy, like, making sure he's not gonna like run up and munch us or something, but like he was like moving his arms and his body and stuff, and it kind of looked like he was dancing, and it was like, oh my gosh, like at first we thought maybe it was our cousin and that he was like, oh my gosh, stay away from the soundboard, please.
What do you think I'm doing?
Leo's trying to hit the suspense button again. We're just-
No.
Stop, please. It's taking me like 15 minutes to tell one story. So we thought maybe it was like one of our cousins or something outside messing with us, but like it was like it's not him, it's not like anybody we know, and he's just like dancing, and we're just like, okay, that's a little creepy. And then suddenly he stops dancing.
Oh no.
Kind of stands there for a moment, and then he starts running towards us, and we're just like, what the
No.
He stopped dancing!
The scariest part, he stopped dancing. And we didn't get any more of his sick moves. He starts like coming towards us, and we're like, oh crap. So I like, heel on the ground, wish around. I'm ready to go back home. And my sister is like too logical of a person that she's just like standing there like, what is this? Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, sis, this is why white people die in the horror movies. Like, get over here. So I like grab her and wrench her with me, and we're running like full speed at home. Like, holy heck, this guy's coming after us. And so like, we turn the corner, we run up the stairs, we jump in like the house, and we slam the door, and put all the locks on, and we start like running to my dad. We're like, Dad, there's this like guy outside, he was chasing us, and
He was dancing.
he had the most awful dance moves, you wouldn't believe it. And it was just like, and by dance moves I mean that he was like waving his arms in the air. It was like freaky. And then I hear like a banging on the door, and I was like, he's here! Oh my gosh! And like, this is how I die. And
The crazy dancing man.
and my mom was just like, no, it's our neighbor, It was one of our friends who was at like the party, and she was just gonna come meet us halfway. So she's like waving her arms like to mess. I just smacked a shelf. She was like waving her arms like just to mess with us, but then she like saw we got freaked out and whatever. But oh my gosh, it was so scary. But then we got to go over and we got some cake, so that was good.
Yes.
Still scary this day though, and I kind of stare at that corner whenever I have to walk outside.
Is there going to be a dancing person at the street
Is this
today?
gonna be a dancing person that's gonna chase me? No.
See, living in a neighborhood
How
and going out at night, that's understandably scary.
Yeah.
However, the last time I lived in a neighborhood, I never went outside.
I never go outside at all.
Hey.
I've always lived out in the country. So now these days, when I'm taking my dog out to go to the bathroom at like midnight, because that's what you do, because I'm a good dog mother,
Yes.
it's really scary. I'm like looking around, making sure there's no like coyote eyes looking at me.
Are the
and
trees
I'm a
going to
snack.
mug me?
Okay, I've had that happen to
The
a
trees
person
have
before.
mugged you?
Yeah, trees mug people, man. Have you not seen that?
With what mugs? What
What
kind of
trees?
mugs
What
are-
trees are you meeting?
obviously.
Are you meeting the Ents from Lord of the Rings?
The trees are like, hey kid, give me your money. What? It used to be trees.
Scary story. I actually have
Wait.
another scary story that happened
Is money
today.
tree ashes?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
No.
Sorry, I'll let you tell your
it's,
story.
It's tree
It's
skin.
okay.
No, you're not allowed
Stop.
Okay, so basically, and you have permission on this. So
Alright.
today, I'm helping my mom. Okay, it's weird. Leo's making weird faces at me.
It's fine.
Okay, so earlier today, I was helping my mom, clean out her garage and like helping her like kind of organize the garage and stuff. I don't know why she had me do it today, but we did it today, and being a good daughter and helping her. And I went inside to take in some stuff, and my grandmother pops in and she sets a jar of applesauce on the counter because that's what grandmothers do. She leaves the door.
You're not a grandmother if you don't put a jar of applesauce on the counter.
You're only allowed
You do not
to do
qualify if you do not pick up a jar of applesauce and put it on the counter and you're like, yes, I am a grandmother.
That's what grandmas do.
So she leaves the door wide open, and my little puppo, Ophelia, looks at the door and makes a straight run for it. She runs outside, and of course I put my shoes on hastily and run after her. So I'm running after her
God
up our
bless.
hill, and out comes, I'm trying to get her, trying to call her back into the house, and all of a sudden, there's this deer that just comes out of the bushes magically.
yeah.
Oh, yike. Is he gonna look you too?
And then the deer
deer.
just freaking used the dog as a baseball bat.
Hello,
against
nature.
Lane.
Nature, I'm gonna mug
No.
you.
Oh wait, no,
No.
wait, that didn't happen. I was on LSD
So-
during that.
The deer looks at me, and then at Ophelia, and then it looks at me again, and just starts running, like full speed at Ophelia, who thinks she's the biggest person in the world. And the deer just starts charging at Ophelia, and Ophelia's still barking her high-pitched bark and running away. And then the deer looks at me and starts running at me. So the deer's like running at me and Ophelia at the same
Oh my
time as we're
gosh.
just booking it down the hill back towards the house.
That's one gutsy deer.
I knew it was a doe! It wasn't even a buck!
I'm here to kill you! No, dear, please.
I am
have
a mother too.
The funny thing is, it didn't have any children with it, so why would the deer even be
Well,
afraid?
you see the deer and running at you, and you're like, oh dear.
So I was gonna make that joke!
I beat you
So-
to it.
Eventually I caught Ophelia and we went inside and none of us died. So, what?
Really?
There's That's
You
my
think-
heart attack for the day.
All right.
Spoiler alert, you're a ghost. That's the scariest.
Oh no, I
I
can
know.
never love again. Sorry, Leo.
Oh, well done.
She just goes to hug you and she just falls right through you and
Oh no.
you just like see the ghost hit the ground.
That
and
was
it's
loud.
just like
Cries a bit. Just that's fine. All right. Okay.
Is it time for childhood
It is
injuries?
time for childhood
Oh
injuries.
man,
Who wants to go
childhood
first?
injuries.
I'll go first.
All right. Gotham's gonna go first.
So, one time we got a new couch.
Oh no.
All
Our
good
old
stories
house.
start with a new couch.
And it came with this really big box, and for some reason I thought boxes were magical after watching that one episode of SpongeBob and SquarePants,
They're always.
are magical.
Yeah.
where they use the box as an imagination machine. But I also figured out it makes a pretty good slide because it was a really big box. I wasn't expecting a response. So after freaking using this box as a slide, I keep using it, and my parents were like, "Don't do it. You're gonna hit your head on the couch." And I'm like,
You know.
"I'm like 6. I don't need to listen to you because I can make my own decisions and everything. So
But
I'm gonna
at
keep
6.
using it." And the thing is me and my sister were both using it. My sister stopped using it as a slide, and I'm using it as a slide. And I like go down, and then just my face just goes straight into the couch, and then I get like a big cut and everything. They like rush
It's
me to
always
the
a big
emergency room, and they're like, "Okay, it'll be fine. You just gotta like wipe it out and everything." I had like a scar there for years. And my dad used to have like the really round glasses that looked like Harry Potter's glasses.
Oh no.
And so they put my sister and my dad put them on me, and they're like, "You look like Harry Potter." And I'm like 6. I haven't seen Harry Potter yet. What the heck
I'm
is
a
that?
what?
You're a Harry
You're a
Potter.
wizard, Harry. What?
All right.
My name's Gotham. What?
I'm a wizard.
I'm a
You're a
wizard.
wizard, Gotham.
All right.
I'm a what?
I'm a what?
What, you what, mate?
I don't know. All right.
At least oh snap. We're gonna have another injury story.
Alakazam.
Childhood story number
At
2.
least it's kind of like a fun story. It's not just like, oh yeah, I just
Okay.
I got another one that's actually really funny.
do
Oh,
tell.
dear.
So I was like a toddler and everything, and I was a dumb toddler.
You're a dumb.
And so my parents we were going to like church and everything for like a leaders meeting or something. And so like I was just put into like a kid's classroom where like some people were watching over us, and I had the bright idea to be like, hey, I should stick popcorn kernels into my ear.
No, why did you even have that thought? Why would you think that's okay?
He was a super
I
mature
was a
6-year-old.
6-year-old.
Was it before or after the
Gotham
couch
is
is X amount of years old and he's
This
still
was actually
not
this
super
was actually
mature?
before. And so I get it stuck in my ear, and a lot of people are trying to get it out. And like
Use the vacuum, Jim.
No, that's what my bastard did.
Oh,
He like my head's against the ground. And he's like turns it on, and it's like super loud and everything. And I'm like, hopefully this gets it out because I didn't think anything of it. So they rushed me to the emergency room for like the first time, and then the next time they rush me to it, I have like a cut on my forehead.
The doctors are like,
And
"Who
so they're
are
like,
you?"
oh,
The
they're like,
doctors are all like, this kid again?
Stop coming back here. You want me
so
to die?
they're like, oh yeah, this is a simple problem. They freaking pull out an instrument and then just scoop it out of my ear, and then like they're like, okay, done. And I'm like,
Thanks.
you guys have an instrument for this?
A saxophone,
Is it
sir.
like oh my
What?
gosh. I just imagine that like it's a common enough problem that kids are sticking popcorn in their ears that they have to make a specific instrument to pull it out.
I had the same lady twice for
Oh,
that.
Oh
So
my
like
gosh.
first time
She's
she's
like, "Oh,
like
you're
just
back."
scooping popcorn. She was scooping a popcorn kernel out of my ear, and then the second time she's like dabbing like an alcohol wipe on my forehead, and I'm just like I'm like crying because I'm like, it's gonna sting.
What's the saxophone in the corner for? Removing popcorn kernels from ears.
You're just like walking for your cut, and the
So,
lady's
wait.
like, wait, I know this kid. This is old popcorn. That's what they called you in high
Let me
school.
guess.
This is popcorn here. Which it was a popcorn kernel. It wasn't like
Wait a
thing of
minute, wait a minute.
popcorn.
It's a space-time continuum. You had a popcorn ear in your ear.
It was just
Within an ear, within an ear.
Within an ear.
I'm just calling you
Is there an
Pat.
echo
Inside
in
a
here?
simulation that's inside a simulation that's inside a simulation that's inside a simulation that's inside Taco Bell
Dude.
Taco.
I'm just gonna start calling you popcorn ear from now on.
Please no.
Popcorn ear. What'd you say, popcorn ear? I didn't hear you.
No, don't scream. Alright, I have a story now.
Tell it.
Injury story. I still have the scar where no one can see it, and it's not going to the
Oh.
place you think it's going.
Oh,
Lucy, can I use your tablet?
And okay, so this place is my mouth.
Tell us like so. This place is my mouth.
Alright, so
Now
it's
you're
a-
still
Audible
speaking.
pause.
okay, so yeah, it's a winter day. I'm outside being a little derpy little 5-year-old, 6-year-old.
I thought you were gonna say fart nugget.
Fart nugget, yeah. Like the mature adult thing I am, almost
Fart
an adult.
nuggets.
What am I
People
doing?
start out as fart nuggets, and then
No.
and then they turn into nugget farts, and then they turn into old farts, which are basically adults.
My dad's an old fart. We made him a whoopee cushion cake for his 40th birthday.
All right,
Gosh, let's let Leo tell a story.
all right.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's only fair that you guys return the favor. So I'm being my little derpy self out in the cold. It's winter time. There's snow everywhere. My mother had just trimmed all the bushes, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a great idea to play around these. And so I'm just being a little snobby little butt I am, and we have grass everywhere. We have a little area in the corner of our yard that's just a square of pavement, and you know, in the cold and snow, that's just all ice. And so my little self, I'm like, ice, it must be fun to dance on. So I'm dancing on the ice, I'm dancing and being a little crap, and so I slip on the ice, and my mouth, when you fall forward, you're like, oh no!
You're screaming the whole way down as your face planting.
Pretty much. And
Your inner monologue. Oh no.
yeah, and my outer monologue too. But like, my mouth's open in the scream, and I land on the trimmed plant. And so what happened was that trimmed plant, the stick broke off, and it lodged itself. It was about 3 inches long into the roof of my mouth.
Oh!
Yeah, into the roof of my mouth. Yep.
That's...
Yeah, so that happened. And so we went inside. There was literally blood everywhere. It was fine.
Do
It
you
was.
still have some of that
just-
blood? I need it for certain reasons.
It's in me. All right, I'm not done yet. Okay.
It's not sad enough.
But I'm not done yet. Okay.
It's sad.
What,
My
you
life's
are
not
not
dead.
Prepare to
I'm not
cry.
dead. All right. So yeah, I go inside and like, it's hurting so much. I lost a lot of blood. But instead of going to the hospital like we probably should have, Mom's like, I'm gonna get a pair of tweezers and take it out.
Oh!
Your dad or your mom had this idea?
That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of.
Yep. And so
That's
We
a
need
lot.
to- we-
So, you know, yeah, so she took it out, and there was lots of blood. But you know what? When you're bleeding a lot, all you have to do is wait it out.
Seriously?
And so we waited that out. There were 2 slivers, one that was 3 inches long and another that was 2 inches long.
Oh my god.
And so they're shoved up right in the middle of the roof of my mouth. And so there's a little ridge in the middle of my mouth where I can feel it still. But there was a long period of time where all I could eat was bananas and milk. And together, if I like eat a banana, drink some milk right after the other, I will feel sick because that's all I can eat for such a long time. But that's the end of my story.
That's straight up traumatizing.
It really
That is
was.
straight up traumatizing.
I was like, people like when they get limbs chopped off. I still feel phantom pain. Like I run my tongue along the roof of my mouth. I'm like, oh, that hurts. And it's been probably over 18, over 8 years.
So you're not even 18.
I'm not even 18. You're right.
Now I have
That's
to
just
cut
in.
that
Leo's
out.
like 36 now.
I am over 95.
We're all immortals here, okay? I can't even count how many lifetimes I've relived.
I thought we were gonna we're recording this from the nursing home.
Hello?
And like someone interrupts and they're just like,
We need to put your oxygen tank.
That was not
There's
needed.
just the of the oxygen chains giving you oxygen, and I'm just like,
This is what this.
calm down.
If
You
we-
hear the oxygen.
if we can get past episode 1 of this, we'll be recording this in the nursing home.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right, so we gotta wrap it up, guys. We got bingo at 1.
We're either gonna be recording this in a nursing home or a hospital, okay?
At least it'll be a good story.
And we'll all be old and like checking like, how are you? And we're.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah, that's literally us, though.
Yay!
I have a singular story that's not funny or traumatizing. It's just stupid siblings being stupid. So,
Please tell.
Sweet.
when I was in 7th grade, at my parents' work, there's like this humongous like swing set, and it was really nice outside. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna have a grand old time. I'm gonna swing. So me and my brother, we go out there and we're swinging, having a good time, you know, because that's what siblings do. And my brother gets the great idea to throw the swing out in front of me. Because I was sitting in a swing and there was another swing right next to me, and my brother, you know, threw it in front of me, and I missed that time. And I looked at him and I'm like, dude, what are you trying to do? Kill me? And my brother, of course, being the snarky little dark he is, he throws it in front of me again. This time.
Thanks, Leo.
Your laugh, your soundboard privileges have been officially.
Well, you know what I say to that?
I will slap you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I collide with the swing and I fly. I get launched off. I open my eyes for a split second and I see myself just like flying like 4 or 5 feet in the air before landing in the rocks with my waist all twisted. It was the worst experience of my entire life. Exactly. And to this day, my parents don't believe me when I tell them that I was flung off. Or my brother's like, it was not that bad. I did not want you. And blah, blah,
You
blah,
only
blah,
broke
blah.
your neck.
Yeah.
Only your neck.
It still
Nothing
makes me
else.
salty to this day.
Quit complaining, Late.
Lane, you're
Well, it's
You're
good.
gonna rustle your neck brace.
You're still in a wheelchair. That means
That's
absolutely
good.
nothing.
I'm just noticing there are 2 fart noises on the soundboard.
You
Okay,
cannot
it's-
touch either of them.
Here's one.
I hate
One of them just the MLG sound.
Are we gonna pick our parts now? Are we gonna pick
Okay, that was the second part.
Those parts sound like those!
So I was like
Oh,
looking through
no.
the cards to try to find a new topic, and I just saw going to the gym, but I know that none of us have been ever to the gym.
I go to
Does the
the
school gym count?
Yeah.
Honestly, though.
gym.
I haven't.
We hate gym.
I haven't.
We're all
I'm
teenagers.
homeschooled. I don't go to.
We all feel
Gym.
like crap.
We
constantly.
draw and write all day. How about we not do anything?
Well, I don't really write a lot.
Just you're an
I do
artist.
write.
Playing Fallout, I guess, kind of counts.
Playing Fallout and Bioshock constantly, that counts as writing, right?
I don't know.
Right? Right?
I saw whipped cream on the cards.
But I do write.
Can we
Kind
talk
of.
about
I like
that,
2
please?
chapters.
Oh, I have a story about whipped cream.
I do too. You tell yours first.
All right, so our church just keeps going back because my only life's at my church, apparently. So this church, we had this Christmas thing. It was like Christmas extravaganza, whatnot, a little event. And so one of them was they had 2 plates of whipped cream and they had gummy bears in them, but they were hidden. And the catch was you had to find the gummy bears, but you had to use your face to find the gummy bears in the pile of whipped cream.
What?
So I faced off against this other kid, and this other kid, his name is Bob. Let's just name him Bob, because that's what everyone names their fictional characters. Yeah, so I'm facing off against Bob, Bobby, Bobbert, whatever. So I'm facing off against this kid, and so he's like, go. So I slam my face directly in the whipped cream, like, this is happening. And so, before I know it, I fished out, like, 8 gummy bears out of all the whipped cream, and Lane is playing with my hair right now, but let's just continue.
You look beautiful.
Alright.
Quarantine matches.
Wow.
I have a ponytail. Continue with the story. Next thing I know, I have all 8 gummy bears out next to the table using only my face, which is covered in whipped cream. I won, and I know this may sound like I'm making it up, but now I won the whipped cream challenge, my ADHD little self. So I won,
We
and
were
so
all expecting you to fail.
yeah,
I'm
honestly,
not.
if I'm telling the story. But like afterwards, I went to the bathroom, washed all of my face, and for the rest of the night, my face smelled like rotten dairy, and for the rest of the week, I just couldn't get the smell of rotten dairy off of my face, and it was just there and terrible. But that was my whipped cream story.
What
On
kind
to
of
you,
church
Hal.
does that?
My church.
Just
Excuse
threw a
me.
piece of dust at me. I see how it is. I was gonna say you should have put that on your resume.
Professional whipped cream eater.
I can eat so much whipped cream, you idiot. Well, it's not even like a specific story. It's just I was just gonna say that like my cat he really likes whipped cream, like to the point of obsession. Like
Me too.
he loves that stuff. So like it kind of started like if people would like make a hot chocolate, you microwave the water. Yeah, I'm weird and I make my hot chocolate with water. Me and Gotham have literally had arguments about this.
Where's the flavor?
Wait, really?
Well, not like an argument, but you were kind of getting on me because you were like, you can't make it with water, you gotta make it with milk.
We don't get on people.
Yeah,
It's a
okay,
Christian
I
thing.
prefer it, but if someone else prefers it with water, I just assume they're a psychopath.
Well, Gotham, I have something to tell you.
Well, I guess Hal's a psychopath.
Apparently,
Again?
we have a single psychopath. That's
Single-
actually me. I'm the psychopath.
Well, wait a minute. Are any of us single? Let's be honest with ourselves.
We're all in this together.
But yeah, so
No
like,
one ever told you life was gonna be this way. Single friends that become together.
Friends is
So-
overrated.
yeah, so like, if somebody was like making like a hot chocolate or like something that had whipped cream with it, we would like get out this like we have this specific little plate. It's like really tiny and round, and we put like a little whipped cream on it and put it on the ground next to the trash can for him to lap up.
Get your whipped cream next to the trash,
That's
you monster.
the spot you put it in. And but now he thinks so. He's kind of like associated that with like heating things up. So now, if you use the microwave at any time, he'll run into the kitchen and like sit down and make his eyes all big.
Yo,
and sparkly,
where's my whipped cream?
And be like,
Hey, can I have some whipped cream?
and you're just like, I am microwaving leftover spaghetti. I'm not gonna add whipped cream to this. And he's like, please.
I
think you're hearing things,
I
Hal.
have seen this firsthand.
My cat can talk about
actually.
crazy.
I was at their house. I was at her house, and we were getting tea and everything. And
That's
her
the
family
tea,
just
sis.
pulls out a tiny plate and then just squirts whipped cream onto it, and then like doesn't say anything. I'm just sitting there like, what?
Like, oh yeah, he likes whipped cream. You're just sitting there like, okay. We love him so much. Alright.
That's a way to. Yep.
It's a way to.
Yeah.
It's a way to.
That's the way to end the podcast.
We're just sitting here
Squadcast.
like, that's the way to.
Yeah.
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 Thank you for.
So yeah.
So yeah, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Remember that new episode of Squadcast comes out every other Sunday. So you'll catch us on June 21. June 21.
I don't know.
Next time.
It's there.
Oh no, we don't
Let me
know. We
look.
don't know our
My calendar.
We have this planned.
Yeah. Okay, 2 weeks from now, we'll catch you on June 23rd. June 23rd, a new episode will be coming out, and
Until then, stay fresh, cheese bags.
stay fresh, cheese bags.
Yeah.